Oh, here is the leak, by the way. This is a leak of thousands of emails between the Alliance Defending Freedom, the American Principles Project, Liberty Counsel, Wolf, and other anti-trans groups detailing strategy and coordination on anti-trans bills with politicians and conversion therapists. Have at it. This is the same person, Maya Arson Crime W, who I believe was the person who originally did the no-fly list leak. The hacker. Here's the blog. What the fuck? What the fuck is this cat? What? Ah, dude, come on. I can't pay attention. With a fucking cat right there. Oh, come on. Oh my god. It's over. I will never be able to read this. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, if you go back to the Mother Jones tweet, there's an article about it. Okay, let's just look at that instead. Oh my god, I can't stop. Okay. Mother Jones wrote an article about it. On Saturday afternoon in August 2019, South Dakota Republican State Representative Fred Douche sent an email to 18 trans activists, doctors, lawyers with a text of a bill he planned to introduce that would make it a felony for doctors to give transgender children under 16 gender-affirming medical care. I have no doubts this will be an uphill battle when we get to session, Douche warned the group. As always, please do not share this with the media. The longer we can fly under the radar, the better. Oh, God, it's so evil. That's so fucking evil. The message was one in a trove of emails obtained by Mother Jones between Douche and representatives of a network of activists and organizations. I also kind of hate that, like, you know, the media, is it nomenclature? Is that the right word? For, like, these terrorists is activists. Like, I love when people say, like, right-wing activist. And I'm like, bro, that's a Nazi. Like, what do you mean? That's not like a free speech activist. That's like just a Nazi. You're talking about a Nazi. Like, is weird. Like, no, they're not. There's no such thing as an anti-trans activist. Like, there is a transphobe. Yeah, it's like talking about Hitler as a right-wing activist. Anyway, it is basically, it is exonerative terminology. It is a part of, unfortunately, Western media. They do this all the fucking time. Yeah. Anti-black activist David Duke. Anyway. Anti-Jewish activist Hitler, Adolf Hitler today. The message was, wait, first of all, you said today's media would talk about Hitler as a right-wing activist? Brother, yesterday's media did talk about Hitler as a revolutionary figure. You don't have to, like, imagine it. It already exists. You know that, right? There has never been, like, an objective villain that the American media wholeheartedly has not defended. Times gave him the Man of the Year, but they give Man of the Year to, like, Person of the Year, to awards to fucking everybody. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, here, we covered this before. Look. Herr Hitler, at home in the clouds. High up on his favorite mountain, he finds time for politics, solitude, and frequent official parties. Herr Hitler in the clouds, yeah. That is from the New York motherfucking Times, baby. Sunday, August 20th, 1939. Munich, Berchtesgaden, where Hitler has spent most of his summer, is the home of his own choice. When he was still the editor of Volkischer Beobachter and little more than the adventurous figure among the scores of German party leaders, he bought a little country house on the foothill of one of the 3 alpine peaks which dominate the Berchtesgaden Valley. Just a few weeks before World War II for Poland. Yep. Just came back. Why are we reading Hitler glam pieces from 1939? Bro, what do you mean? There's never a wrong time to read about her Hitler, yeah? You know? It's just her Hitler. Look at his home in the clouds. Oh, dude, it's awesome. (1939) Madison Square Garden meeting. Oh yeah, that was another fun one. Yeah, America was like big time on board. There were a lot of people who were on board with Hitler's ideas. Okay. Anyway, let's move on from this and get back to this instead. The message was in a trove of emails obtained by Mother Joe's between douche and representatives of a network of activists and organizations at the forefront of the anti-trans movement. They show the degree to which these activists shaped douche's repressive legislation, a version of which was signed into law in February, and the tactics, alliances, and goals of a movement that has sought to foist their agenda on a national scale. In messages back and forth, some members of the group pushed douche to make the bill even more restrictive. Bernadette Broyles, the president and general counsel of the Georgia-based law firm called Child and Parental Rights Campaign, urged him to raise the age threshold to 18. They were like 16. No, raise it to 18. Broyles, who was also affiliated with the conservative Christian legal powerhouse Alliance Defending Freedom. Dude, when I hear stuff like this, I'm like, tax every fucking religious institution so much that they are crippled. Okay? That they can never operate normally ever again. Holy fuck, dude. Jesus Christ. How do these people get away with doing so much advocacy and they're non-taxable organizations? I'm so mad. Oh! Yeah, first-time conservatives are asking to raise the age of consent. Yeah, literally. Oh, my God. Oh. Warned that other religious right groups might not support the bill if you start by giving away 16 and 17-year-old girls right from the outset. Others, including Andre Van Mol, a member of fringe conservative doctors group that calls itself the American College of Pediatricians, raised concerns that the bill was written, might backfire, accidentally blocking healthcare providers from attempting to change a child's perception of their sex when kids identify as transgender. Douche agreed to rewrite the section. This is like the culmination. This is basically when it was first popping off. Like, obviously, anti-trans stuff was always crazy, and it's always been a thing. But there was an era where, you know, the mainstream narrative wasn't this, like, aggressively in support of murdering trans people. Right? I think I would say, like, Donald Trump made it, like, a big culture war thing. Even after, like, literally, there were like drag queens that he had on his campaign. He was like supposedly LGBT. He literally said Caitlyn Jenner can pee in the women's room. Like, I don't care. Remember that shit? And then, like, when he was president, he's like, trans people can't be a part of the military, out of nowhere. And then that culture war meta became so aggressive. You say just stop touching kids? I agree. I think conservatives should stop touching kids. Absolutely. With the overwhelming majority of people who are doing that are, Republicans in Congress. You said Cope? Really? Dennis Hastert would like to have a word with your child. Why don't you, I mean, let's be real. You're never going to have children. You are a pathetic scumbag who is going to probably be isolated for the rest of his life as he wonders exactly why pedocrats can't succeed without grooming. That's funny. Okay, good take. Pound for pound, more pedophiles in the Republican Party than the Democratic Party, even though I fucking despise the Democratic Party as well. But let's be real. Facts are facts. If you had the capabilities of no, I'm not saying no you, I'm just talking facts. If you had the capability of, like, having consensual intercourse one day, and had a child, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want to leave your child with any kind of Republican conservative legislator, considering how they love either doing the sex crimes themselves directly at children, or turning the other cheek, turning a blind eye to the sex crimes happening to other people's children. So your Twitter replies look like a sex offender list, Jankim Kush says. I agree. I do have a lot of haters in my Twitter replies, so you are correct. A lot of pedophilic Republicans are in my Twitter replies. Douche's legislation was killed in the Senate after doctors showed up to the South Dakota State House to argue that they should not be sent to prison for following medical consensus. Though our session in SD is now over and our efforts to protect gender-confused, vulnerable children failed, I continue to receive ugly emails, social media posts, Douche said, complained to the group. Please do not say that the South Dakota effort failed, Margaret Clark, general counsel for the Alabama branch of the Phyllis Schlafly-founded Eagle Forum. You successfully inspired, encouraged, and counseled numerous VCAP efforts around the country. You established an ideal witness list that we are still following in on our individual states. And most importantly, you connected us all to each other. This is just the beginning. Indeed, Douche's bill has proved influential in recent surge of anti-LGBTQ bills lawmaking. This is a legislative session. At least 18 states have considered bills containing the language closely resembling the text of the Vulnerable Child Protection Act. Douche's proposal helped proponents of the national movement to restrict gender-affirming care establish a playbook for their now common attacks. They've very much increased sophistication since then, but the roots are there. Emails demonstrate close collaboration between groups working behind the scenes to push bills banning transgender healthcare, including ADF, which has defended state-sanctioned sterilization of trans people in Europe. Holy fuck. And the ACPEDs, which is opposed adoption by gay couples and supported conversion therapy for LGBTQ youth. In recent years, ADF has drafted legislation banning trans children from using school restrooms or playing on sports teams that align with their gender identity. Remember what I told you? The whole trans people should not be allowed to play sports with cis people. That was always just bullshit. The top of the hour ad break, however, is not bullshit. Okay? It comes at the top of the hour, and sometimes it comes 25 minutes into the top of the hour. But the way to avoid the top of the hour ad break is by subscribing for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime, by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account to get one free Prime subscription a month. Use it on your favorite streamer. Hopefully that's me. You can also get gifted a sub. Here's the streaming ad break now. Anyway, not on the ball. Matt NLT, thank you for the 5. Get the subs. It's 6:25. Don't do this to me, Hassan. My trust in people. Okay, chill. I don't trust this article, and I don't trust the ad. Okay. ADF drafted the Mississippi abortion ban at the heart of the case that overturned Roe v. Wade, is currently representing ACPEDs in a closely watched lawsuit to ban an abortion pill, mifepristone, nationally. These are groups who we know are not interested in the best practice care for trans kids, says Catherine Oakley, State Legislative Director and Senior Counsel for Human Rights Campaign. These bills are coming from national organizations whose purpose is to harm LGBTQ people. All right, let's see some of these emails, though. I want to see these juicy fucking emails. Christian Nationalist Lobbying Group, Family Policy Alliance. Lawmakers often seek advice from experts in law, policy, medicine, and other fields as they craft legislation. ADF Senior Vice President of Communications said in a statement, that's a normal part of a healthy democracy. The emails illustrate just how long some major figures in the anti-trans movement have been incubating political attacks on transgender health care. For instance, Broyles, who today represents Jamie Reed, the former caseworker who's made controversial high-profile claims against Missouri Gender Clinic, was working in 2020 with the ACPED's executive director, Michelle Cretella. Okay, here. Oh, thank you. Holy fuck. All Just a note to update you on the status of VCPA. I'm comfortable with the bill in the white paper in the final form. I have no doubt this will be an uphill battle when we get to session. As always, do not share this with the media. They hammered out talking points for upcoming bill hearings, where a detransitioner and a member of the Women's Liberation Front would testify in favor of the bill, along with doctors from both inside and outside South Dakota. All of these people are fucking freaks. All of these people are fucking freaks, dude. They have made it their entire lives mission to just like look to a group of like a tiny, tiny group of individuals whose lives are already pretty shitty, okay? And their entire lives mission is to just get them to commit suicide, okay? They basically have made it their lifelong mission to get as many trans people to kill themselves as possible, which is crazy. It's so evil. Like, it's unimaginably evil. They're not hurting anybody. They're not doing anything. And these guys have created this insane network of hatred. It's pretty fucked up. EcoMang, thank you for the 5. Get the subs. The group debated how to respond to the ACLU's claim that their bill was unconstitutional. While there may be a constitutional right to refuse to carry a child to term under Roe, there is no constitutional right to chemically and surgically mutilate one's healthy body where there is no disease to be treated. That's child abuse broils road. Dude, it's a medical process, dude. It should be left to the person, like the patient and the doctor. It's insane. Small government, by the way. Pro-life, by the way. Save the children, by the way. Meanwhile, everything that they're fucking advocating for is like the exact opposite. Fuck, man. It's unimaginable amounts of cruelty. Good time to bring up like irrelevant washed comedian, man. Thanks. He's like, oh, we're talking about trans people? Let me go defend Dave Chappelle for no reason. Dude, Dave Chappelle's biggest crime wasn't that he was transphobic. Many people are, okay? He was mid. I'll say it. I'm not trans. It doesn't, it doesn't directly impact me in that same way. I have the privilege of looking at that objectively without being emotional about it. And let me tell you, it was mid. Okay, as someone who was a massive Dave Chappelle fan, it was mid. It was hacky. There were no jokes to be had. That's his greatest crime, to be honest. Many people are transphobic, but not many people ruin their incredible comedy career by deciding to just fucking sit up there and do a TED Talk. Oof. Van Mol, the doctor suggested Dorsch reply to the suicide prevention argument, the rebuttal published on a now defunct anti-trans blog. Why weren't there in the 1950s a total bloodbath of suicides of non-affirmations, everything due to the fast train of offing oneself? Van Mol asked, paraphrasing the blog post. Wait, what? This motherfucker did not point to the 1950s as like a wonderful time to be trans, right? Or even like talking about suicide rates in the 1950s. Pretty sure plenty of people were killing themselves back then too, like nonstop. What's your counter to trans people in sports having an unfair advantage? The entire basis of sports is designed around having unfair natural advantages. The only reason why you have a problem when it's a trans person is because you find that to be unnatural. You don't have a problem with Messi taking hormones to overcome his genetic disorder at an early age. He's the GOAT, one of the greatest, soccer players of all time. Messi also did hormone therapy. Okay, you have to take human growth hormone. You don't give a shit if Michael Phelps has insane natural advantages. You only give a shit when it's a trans woman because you don't consider trans people to be valid. So you think they're doing it for an unnatural, unreasonable purpose, which is to what? Win a fucking swim meet in high school? That blows my fucking mind. I do not think that that is the case. I do not believe it. I also don't think that it's bad for some people to have. No one is transing themselves to play fucking high school or college sports. I love to imagine someone hearing this take and coming away from it hating Messi. No, Messi is awesome. Messi's story is overcoming great odds. So yeah, I don't care. I just don't care about trans athletes like dominating, and that's not even the case, to be honest, because trans athletes are not fucking dominating every sports endeavor that they are engaging in. So that's the other thing. You just hear about it when they end up inevitably winning one fucking thing, and then a whole sequence of L's that they partake in is never covered. That's the beauty of sports. Sometimes people dominate, and in other instances, they don't. Wait till you have a daughter and she has to compete against a naturally born male. Yeah, if I have a daughter in the future and she's a gigantic piece of shit transphobe, I will make sure that that does not happen. I will educate them so to ensure that they are not a fucking asshole like you dumb bitch. You think if I had a daughter she'd be transphobic? What are you, fucking delusional? Are you out of your fucking mind? Yeah, I will not have a bitch-made ass daughter who is like, oh my god, I lost because trans people. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Work harder. Get better. That's the fucking entire basis of sports. You dumb bitches looking for equity. I want equality of outcome in my sports. I wanted to make it boring. Who cares? I'm a former female athlete. Don't be an asshole. What do you mean? That guy was a 3-year follower? Yeah. I mean, people's brains break usually. Is this seriously that common an issue that's worth reporting? No, it's just an entry point. It's an entry point to the conversation. It's to open up the door. Shouts out to Joe Rogan for that, by the way. That was pretty fire of him to just like basically normalize this as though it's like a valid reason to fucking constantly chirp at trans people. That person literally proved your point that a lot of people are transphobic. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows that though. Anyway. Okay, this is too long and it's like bumming me out. I'm depressed. Anyway, fuck these people. How do you argue that point? What point? Trans in sports? I just did. Please stop. I literally just did. It is such a marginal thing. Trans people are not like dominating every fucking field that they participate in. You only hear about it because there's selection bias. The media covers it regularly to drum up support against trans people. Ultimately, the entire basis of sports being fun and entertaining to watch is because people have unnatural and natural advantages against one another. If every single person was the same height, it wouldn't be as entertaining. Nobody's watching the 6 foot and under NBA league, okay? Shut up. It doesn't matter. Literally doesn't matter if there's like 1 or maybe even 10 trans people participating in some field, okay? Trans women are still women. Nobody's transing themselves and undergoing HRT specifically so they can fucking win athletic competitions. Have you addressed Adam's comments? What did Adam say? Who's Adam? Oh, Friedland? What did he say? Would you talk about Knowles coming to speak at UB? Many students, including myself, are organizing tomorrow. It's kind of overwhelming. I don't know what you want me to say. Just don't be like, don't get duped into fucking getting, don't get duped into giving Michael Knowles like more media coverage. You know what I mean? That's it. Do you think removing the lines between male-female sports, excluding those made for safe spaces, making it all a joint league would fix some things? I don't know. I don't know. And I don't care. What I do know is that Physical 100 was pretty cool when you did get to see like women compete against men. That was pretty fire. Actually. Holy fuck, dude. This is another 8-hour day where we only have talked about fucking news. I'm losing my mind. Play the Austinax clip for them.